some further railway developments over and above some of the ones that I shared with you. Our speaker is Henrik Christensen. He's the President of Global Logistics at KTZ Express in Hong Kong. Henrik has more than 40 years experience in shipping and transportation. Way back in 1974, he started with Kuehne Nagel in the UK. He subsequently served in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. He pioneered a new transport route from Tanzania and Malawi. He moved in 1996 to Hong Kong, building business between Hong Kong and Russia. 2005, as many of you would know, he founded the China Logistics Club, which now has 400 members from over 86 different countries. And since earlier this year, he's been appointed as the president of KTZ Express, which is a subsidiary of the Kazakhstan Railways. Please welcome our second speaker, Henrik Christensen. Henrik.
Makes you feel old, because of 40 years in business. I think, as you all know, freight forwarding and logistics and shipping is a very interesting business, and when you first get into it, you can't get out of it. So this is the reason I'm today, I'm sure. As Mark said, KTZ Express is a subsidiary of the Kazakhstan National Railway. I recently met the Minister of Transport from Kazakhstan with the President of KTZ as well, and they told me they started this route, this new Silk Road, 10 years ago. They started planning this 10 years ago. So it's taken a long time, but now it is functioning. And, I will give you a little bit of insight into it, not so much about the global railway as the heading is, but I will show you another side which kind of lead on to what Mark showed you about the railways in the Futurelights down. Just a very quick introduction to KTZ Express, railways. We have port infrastructure, sea transportation from Aktau to Baku in Azerbaijan, terminal network in Kazakhstan, road transportation in Kazakhstan as well. We appointed Dubai Port to manage the inland port in Torpis and in Aktau, and Swissport to manage the 11th airport, which was handed to us as well to manage that in Kazakhstan. Just a company structure, give you a bit of an idea. But here's the, this was actually in South China Morning Post on the 1st of October, and it shows here that plan for the railway. I hope you can see it. It's not very difficult to get this image on the slide, but it shows the North American route which they are planning. Which I'm sure will happen one day, no doubt. Also the routes in Southern Asia, routing via India into Karachi. Beside the route into to Russia and Belarus into Europe, Kazakhstan also building 3 other routes. One is via Aktau into Baku, as I mentioned. And then you can go via Georgia to Poti or across the Black Sea into Europe. You can go down to Turkey. And now the tunnel under the Prosperous Sea, you can also go by rail all the way into Hamburg, for example. And the third route is down by, this is now also complete, down by Iran, and then into Turkey, and that way into Europe. So the Chinese, I believe, they consider the American controlling the sea. You have the Russians in the north. In case of she should happen, at least there's 2 other alternatives. For the Chinese to get their goods to Europe. So I think this is fascinating. I mean, the Chinese are really investing huge amount of money in the railway infrastructure. And even little Kazakhstan is spending about $45 billion in the next 6 years on the infrastructure as well. So this is really what I'm here to talk about, is the Trans-Eurasia route, or some people call it the New Silk Road. And here's a quotation from the Kazakhstan president that by 2016 he hoped to revive the transportation of the Silk Road, bridge between Europe and Asia. Here are some of the benefits of this new transportation routes. our job in Hong Kong, we only started a few months ago as a commercial office of Kazakhstan Railway. Kazakhstan Railway is a very large company of 170,000 employees. So to make it operationally fast and commercially efficient, they decided to set up the office in Hong Kong, which I had the pleasure of running. And our job is there to build new services, open up train services from different ports or different points in China. We mentioned a few here, like at the moment there's already a service from Chongqing to Duisburg. There's 4 trains per week from there. There's a service from Chengdu to Lodz in Poland. There's services from Wuhan to Hamburg. There's also Wuhan, I believe, to Prague as well, which is the Apple of Foxconn. From Xi'an. We are trying right now to start moving, opening up in Guangzhou and Shenzhen into to Europe as well. We will be a hub and spoke system. We will use the new Hawkers border point between China and Kazakhstan. This will be the new point for containers only. Dostig and Schenker will be used for freight bulk cargo only. This is why we have appointed the people to manage that inland port, which is also a free trade zone, to make it efficient and fast so we can get our trains through very quickly. Yes, so let me just go through some of these benefits here. 15 to 18 days, I don't think many people actually really realize that it's that fast. It really is fast. We're now talking to New Zealand about moving New Zealand lamb via China because of the ultra-slow steaming, which is a transit time of 60, 70 days or so. The problem is that the lamb only have a shelf life of about 16 days in Europe. So the buyers are now demanding a discount, of course. But I think that if we can move it via this railway route, we could probably add another 15 to 30 days shelf life. So it's quite important. I think that we could do it in 35 days, probably from New Zealand to Europe by rail. So you can virtually cut the route in half. So it's going to make a big difference. I mean, who would have thought moving New Zealand goods, big products as well via China? It seems, but then also it is 5 to 7 days or 5 to 7 times cheaper than air freight. So this route, I mean, we're not really a competitor to the ocean line. I don't think that is realistic. I mean, in 2014, less than 1 vessel has actually been moved by sea. I mean, 19,000 tons TEU vessel. Sorry? Well, this route is cheaper than sea air. We have capacity in the 45-foot container, 26 tons. So I think you can work it out. We're also faster than sea air generally. So the transit time from Asia to Dubai, for example, I'm not quite sure the exact dates, but we spoke to some of the sea air guys, and they said they will add this service to theirs. So they have another service they got to their customers. Of course, there's also green transportation, which many customers now demanding as well. It is an effective route for heavy and bulk cargo. And as Hewlett Packard's mentioned, Hewlett Packard's been one of the founding clients of this material. They have spent an immense amount of time with them to make this work. They have their factory, as you probably know, in Chongqing. And since they started using the rail, they've been able to cut their their inventory by half. I mean, that is huge in Europe. Also, the financial cost of saving, let's say, 30 days in the ocean. So if you have a container worth $1 billion of computers, how much is the finance cost going to be for 30 days? So to them, it's no longer an option for them to move by sea. They will continue to move by rail because it is cheaper than sea in the final analysis. Here's a map that was probably made by Hewlett Packard. It shows the examples. Hewlett Packard is now also talking about rail, air air, rail, different kind of services. This focus is going to be a real game changer. I think that this is going to turn into like a Dubai Freeport. It's already Toyota's moving in there, Nissan Motors moving in there, Hewlett Packard's moving in there, so they can start doing light assembly there and then distribution from there. So it's going to be an inland free trade zone. As you can see, it's nearly 300 hectare dry port there, 230 hectare industrial zone, logistics zone, 190 hectares as well. And it's going to be completed, or the first part of it is actually going to be completed later this year. And here's the example of the Hewlett Packards. They will use, as you can see in the middle there, both to the Middle East, Central Asia, Southern Russia, of course into Europe as well. So it is going to be a very, very important free trade zone or inland port. Here's another one. We like this map as you probably get on here. So, here's the sea route, and here's the we have here Lingengang where we invested $100 million into building terminals in Lingengang to cater for the South Korean, the Japanese cargo, to use this particular routes. We just had a seminar in Japan a few weeks ago, and most of the Japanese companies there said that they've stopped using to a great extent the Trans-Siberian and also this route because there was delays, there was lack of equipment. But now we hope that we can resolve all this problem. Also delays at the Shanghai-Dostik border. Some had up to a month's delay. All that we will also resolve by employing somebody like DP World to actually manage this port, so we can remove all the corruption and other issues that's been in that border. And you can see this is also going down to Bandar Abbas. The railway line is now actually being completed, and we will start using the rail down to there as well as into Turkey as well. I will sail through this other slides of this enormous map here very quickly. Again, we talk about the pendulum service from China into Europe. Obviously, getting return cargo is the key to make this work. At the moment, it's a one-way service, often by ships or containers. So therefore, we have invested so far in 245 reefer containers. They each cost about $80,000. There's a lot of money we invested into this. But this will enable us to get refrigerated cargo back, or perishable goods back to China. And this is an enormous amount. There was a Transfarm Express survey done, and they spoke to the pharmaceutical companies. They had about 120 40-foot containers pharmaceutical into China every week. So that's 3 block trades per week, just the pharmaceutical goods. Then there's all the fish. We hope we'll pick up from Norway and Scandinavia. Denmark have just been approved by China to export food into China. They're doing about $6 billion a year. So it's this considerable amount of. I also spoke to Rainer, he mentioned ice cream, for example. Who would have thought of ice cream? But ice cream is another high-value goods, cheeses and so on. So I think there will be, the problem is not going to be filling the train or the containers back, but it's going to be capacity. There's not going to be enough capacity. So whoever wants to start something with us, we're very happy to talk to them. And the one?
Would it be possible to put the fur skins from Copenhagen Fur and Saga on the train into China?
Put what?
The fur skins, the mink skins from Copenhagen Fur from Saga. You know, it's huge volumes.
I cannot see any reason why not. But they should be able to move in a normal dry container, yeah?
No, it's all it's by air freight. If you're going to ship, let's see, you need to have a rig.
Okay, well, I see absolutely no reason why not. Yeah. We would have this, we're actually buying another 700 of these 45-foot reefer containers, so we will have 900, and that is really only just to meet the demand of the pharmaceutical companies. But our plan is to start services from different parts of China. So if it's coming from Wuhan, for example, we can pick it up from there. But also my personal challenge is to get it down from Marucci to the border there, to get into Antwerp in 9 days. That is our aim, and I think it's going to be possible. At the moment you could go from Dutch or whatever to Poland in 6-7 days. So to get it into Antwerp, because then you actually start competing with airlines. Then you start not only sea air, but you also start competing with air freight. You can get it in that fast. And the speed of the locomotive have more or less doubled in the last 2 or 3 years. Christensen actually building their own locomotive, very powerful locomotive, in a joint venture with General Electric. So the speed is going up, and the massive investments they have made also to operate the rails, so the speed can be increased. An open freeway, this is what we look at. It's to be an open freeway between Asia and Europe, and make it possible for everybody to use it. At the moment it is primarily the very large forwarders who's using it, but we want to open it up. The reason we're here today is to tell all the small and medium-sized freight forwarders also that it is possible. One more map, but again the same, loading from different places in China. Why isn't built Istanbul down to Bandar and into Europe? Here's the 45-foot reefer containers, which is an innovation itself, because you've never been able to move reefer containers in China. We've not been allowed. So we have the first permission to move these reefer containers in China. And these containers have been specially adapted for this particular route. So we have, as you can see on this picture, the black part is a big 800-liter diesel tank. So it has the capacity to move from Europe to China. We will of course have filling points in between, just as a backup, but it is possible to move, depending of course on the uses of the diesel or the engine. And these are 45-foot pallet wide high containers. Just a little bit of an idea of the investments that Kazakhstan is making, about $45 billion between 2014 and 2020. This is huge. There's also, I'm not sure how many is actually where, there's also going to be the highway from Europe to Leningrad as well, also going by August. So you can very soon drive your trucks from Europe to China as well. And China is in the process of signing the tier convention, so you can actually use tier trucks coming into China as well. So this is why there's a lot of money being